Well, hi everyone, this is just a quick video of a quick spin on a Friday afternoon. I'm just going to do a little trip down memory lane, do a quick ride out to where I grew up, a few years of my childhood. This is the Dublin Street Bridge, Wangnaui. And it's a beautiful autumn's day here. We're heading towards the end of autumn. Next week it's the beginning of winter. Still very mild. Weather's about to pack up though when winter sets in. So running out of opportunities to go for a good ride and to do a vlog, put a video up, so I thought I'd do a quick one. And that's an unmarked police car in front of me, so I better keep my speed down. You can see the red and blue lights just inside the back sill there, so better keep an eye on my speed. So that was an unmarked police car. And just over there to my left, just over beyond that car park, is what's left of East Town marshalling yards. I worked there as a shunter when I was 17. Used to be a very, very busy marshalling yard, putting trains together. Not used as such now though. And we'll skip ahead here. This is a big long straight along here, so we'll just cut this bit out. It's a very nice bushwalk in through there. Bit of native forest to New Zealand. And there's a walkway that goes all the way through there. This place holds a lot of memories for me. A lot of people I went to school with used to live here. That was the Turangi's place. Past the McRae's place back there, Bardell's used to live there. And this just ahead is my old school. Back in 1979 I went here. And all this place out here to the right used to just be a swamp that we used to play in. None of these trees were here, that house wasn't there. And we used to walk, take a shortcut just across here, across these paddocks to the village. Or we'd walk along these roads, of course. Just ahead of us behind these trees is what used to be the old school, which was abandoned because it was sinking. It's a private home now. But that railway crossing just ahead there, my dad was a locomotive engineer on the New Zealand railways. He would stop his train there and pick us up, take us for a ride up the tracks, which was a nice memory. And just ahead of us here, none of this was here. This building just ahead of us used to be the general store and the petrol station. Everything was here. Post office, general store was there. We'd catch the bus into town for school. And this property right here is where we used to live. That house in the background was never there. And in the grass area, just in the foreground there, was where our house used to be. Here's an old photo from the Wangnaui Chronicle, the local newspaper, of what was left after the fire. And another old memory here was in the background there you can see an old tractor. And when we were naughty as kids, one of the punishments we were sentenced to was to put 100 pumps into the back wheel of this tractor with a bike pump. It was just my father's sense of humour. My initials are in that tree up there. And this is the Higgies farm here, where we used to ride motorbikes. Did a 27-metre ramp jump in that paddock over there. And all that hill there, covered in trees, was completely bare. In fact, that's where it was used as a TV set once for a program called Dog Trials, where dogs would round sheep up and put them through pens and things. None of these trees were here. Poplar trees may have been here, of course, I don't remember them, but all of these trees up here were just, there was nothing, no trees. Those old pine trees up there were there, but everything to the left of the road was completely nothing. We used to ride around all these hills on motorbikes as kids. And every year there was time trials up this hill. Might be sidecars, might be cars, motorbikes. And over here to the left is a paddock we used to call Box Gully. That was basically our motocross track down there. None of those trees were there. So that was the Higgies house up there. And remember I used to drive around in this paddock up here to the right in a Holden Kingswood with somebody who was only 12 at the time, couldn't even see over the dashboard. But we'd race around that paddock there. The Elwoods used to live there, and all of these trees were just shrubs. There was nothing here but shrubs. See what my wife means now about polishing this seat. I'll have to stop doing that because it gets quite slippery. town was a short trip out to Okoia. Lived out there from 1979. I think the house burned down in 1981, 1982, might have been 1982. We moved into town then. So that was a lifetime ago now. Yeah, so just a nice quiet ride on a autumn afternoon, Friday afternoon. As I said earlier, next week is the beginning of winter, and the weather's about to close in on us, and we get all the southerlies coming up from Antarctica, so we get all the cold weather shortly. That tower you can see over there, some stories about that one in the family going way back to when my father was a young man, but that's a story for another day. That's the Wangnaui water tower. Yes, you would do a detour up here, and there's a lookout over Wangnaui, which is quite pretty. There's another tower up here on Jury Hill that looks a bit like a chess piece, I guess. Probably see it right ahead of me there. When I was a kid, it didn't have that dome. I don't know whether the camera can pick it up, but there's a dome on top, which is a cage. And that was put up there because people were jumping off and killing themselves, so they put a dome on there. But when I was a kid, that was just open, and you can walk up. There's a spiral staircase that goes all the way up there. A few policemen there. I wonder what that's all about. Let's do a detour down here. When I was 18, I moved out of home briefly, and I lived in a flat just down here, and I think my Auntie Lou was living in one of these flats down here when they were newly married a lifetime ago. But yeah, I lived in one of those flats there for a little while. So let's go and have a look at that. So this is my hometown, Wangnaui, New Zealand. It's the riverboat going up the river. Let's go up here and have a look up at the top there. Because there's too many stairs in there to go up there. I'm feeling a bit lazy. Right, so this is Wangnaui, and that's the Wangnaui Harbour, the ports, which used to be a thriving business there, and I think they're going to revive that, get that all going. Airport's out there. I live over that way. So we've got the Cobham Bridge, which is probably the world's shortest motorway. It's virtually just the length of the bridge, and then to about where you can see the orange building there, Mitre 10 Mega. That's basically the length of the motorway. Then we've got the town bridge there, and over there's the Dublin Street Bridge, and you can't see, but just around that bend is the rail bridge. I don't know if you can pick it up in the camera, but just to the left of the water tower there is Mount Ruapehu. Bit of snow on it. And over this way is, no, you can't see it, it's obscured by cloud, but over that way is Mount Taranaki. So this is Wangnaui, and that's my town. This tower that we've just walked up here is actually an elevator. It goes down to the bottom of the hill, and there's a great big huge long tunnel you walk out to go out onto the road over that way. Hear me huffing and puffing, not very fit. Yeah. So as I say, this is an autumn day, heading towards the end of autumn in the southern hemisphere in New Zealand. A bit of police activity up here for some reason. That up there, smile flat up top. every year, Boxing Day, they have a street motorcycle race, and this forms part of the the track. Comes down here to from my right down into this part, and there's always a stadium set up over here. Just in the last one gone, they had some of the riders that do the Isle of Man came to attend. It's called the Cemetery Circuit, and it goes through the old cemetery right in the middle of town. Might say it's the dead centre of town. How corny is that? We won't go there. So this forms part of the racetrack anyway. And it turns to the right just up there and goes back round, and that's the circuit. The old cemetery circuit. So that's there every Boxing Day that runs. Sun's about to go down over that way, so we're in the afternoon. Not sure how the camera's behaving right now with the sun directly in front of us. It's a tricky intersection, this one, because that sign there blocks the indicators of the cars coming from that side. So still getting used to this motovlogging thing. A lot of the vlogs that I watch, people are got a lot to talk about, and I'm still getting used to the whole idea of talking to myself inside my helmet. Seems to be a lot of traffic about at the moment. And there we have it, nice quiet ride out into the country on a Friday afternoon, end of autumn in the southern hemisphere. And a look at my hometown, Wangnaui, New Zealand. And here we are back home again.